Hi, today I'm going to show you how to consistently beat Commander Zhalk on the Nautiloid on Tactician and get the Everburn Blade. So our primary strategy here is to buff the Mind Flayer and use the Nautiloid tanks as the last resort. Each tank does 66 fire damage and there's 4 of them, so normally we'd be able to put out 24 d6, but both the Cambions and Zhalk are resistant to fire, so they're only going to take half of that. That averages out to be about 42 fire damage, which can provide that last minute kill if the Mind Flayer is just whiffing all its rolls. For a starting class, you're honestly free to pick whichever class you'd like, but I find that Bard's buffing capabilities make the fight a lot smoother. For cantrips, I'll be picking Vicious Mockery and Blade Ward. Vicious Mockery is useful for its ability to impose disadvantage on the first attack roll of an enemy. Zhalk attacks twice a turn, but an approximately 20% debuff on his hit chance on the first attack is going to be useful to keep the Mind Flayer alive. Blade Ward buffs you for 2 turns, so that you only take half damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. This will be useful for when your Bard gets into a spicy situation, you need to stay in the fight for a little bit longer. For spells, Heroism and Dissonant Whispers are going to be your top picks. Dissonant Whispers for the damage and possible frightened condition for 2 turns, which will impose disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Heroism for the 5 temporary HP per turn, which we'll use on the Mind Flayer. The other 2 spells are up to you, whichever you want to pick. For ability scores, I would go with at least a 16 in Charisma. How you decide to spread the rest of your abilities is up to you. Respec becomes available very early in the game, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. It's only 100 gold, and you can always pickpocket the gold without penalty. For the team, you're going to want to make sure you recruit Us and keep it healthy and alive. Not only can you acquire him as a summon later in the game, but he provides a healthy source of tanky and damage to focus down the Lesser Devils or Zhalk. Shadowheart is essential to defeating Zhalk. She can cast Command to force Zhalk to drop his weapon with a 55% chance of success, and can cast Bless on the Mind Flayer and Lae'zel to increase their hit chance. Your first turn is going to be focused on casting Command on Zhalk to make him drop his weapon. This may take a few tries, but once he does, have your Bard close the distance so you can cast Heroism next turn on the Mind Flayer. Once Zhalk drops his weapon, he will box with the Mind Flayer at 6 damage per hit and won't pick his weapon back up. Picking up the weapon is a free action, so as soon as your Bard is within range, you should be able to pick up the blade and cast Heroism on the same turn. Once you have it, transfer the weapon to Lae'zel. The blade serves as an incredible early damage boost for Lae'zel or any other melee class that can use greatswords, but will cost an action to equip. Be sure to cast Bless with Shadowheart on the Mind Flayer, Lae'zel, and Us to increase their hit chance. Do your best to clear out the Lesser Devils as soon as possible with Us and your other teammates so you can focus on Zhalk. Position Lae'zel and Us directly opposite the Mind Flayer, while having Shadowheart in the position shown. This allows Shadowheart to cast Firebolt if necessary to explode tanks, while being able to run to the console if necessary. The Cambions will roll initiative around turn 11, and they will be fully in the fight around turn 8. If you're lucky, the Mind Flayer has been able to get some solid hits and stuns in, and Zhalk should be close to death. Once Zhalk is close to death within 1 turn, you have the choice to bring all your allies towards the helm to prepare an escape or continue fighting. After Zhalk's defeat, the Mind Flayer will turn against you and the Cambions. If the rolls are blessed to you, then it's perfectly possible to turn the Nautiloid tanks against the Cambions and hope the Mind Flayer can stun and damage them enough to take them down. You will still get XP from Cambions killing the Mind Flayer. If you are unlucky, but lucky enough for Commander Zhalk to be around 40 to 50 HP, you can set the Nautiloid tanks using Lae'zel and blow it up with a Firebolt from Shadowheart, which should kill the Mind Flayer and Zhalk for 75 XP each. This is a little bit of a gamble if the 24d6 from the tanks end up doing lower than the average damage. Don't worry too much about reviving any of the characters if they go down. Once you hit the console, downed characters are automatically restored and dead characters will be on the beach available for you to revive with the scroll. I hope this video helped you, and congratulations on your new Flaming Greatsword at level 2.